Hey everyone, thanks for being here today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And I make videos all about living your best life after 70, filled with energy, purpose, and independence. Today's video is one that hits close to home, especially if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered where the time went. We're talking about 6 daily habits many people over 70 fall into without even realizing it, and how letting them go could help you feel more like you again. These aren't strict rules or outdated advice from decades ago. These are real behaviors that quietly chip away at your health, confidence, and freedom, until one day you realize you're not moving, thinking, or feeling quite the way you used to. Stick around till the end, because there's a good chance you'll see yourself in at least one of these stories, and you'll walk away with simple steps to turn things around, starting today. Let's dive in. Avoiding strength-building activities. We often hear this as we get older. Take it easy, don't push too hard. That sounds logical, right? Your knees might be stiffer. Balance isn't what it once was, and lifting anything heavier than a bag of groceries feels risky. So many people start scaling back on movement, opting for rest over resistance. You tell yourself it's safer. But the truth? Doing less is actually riskier. After 70, muscle loss speeds up. This process, called sarcopenia, can silently rob you of strength, mobility, and independence, unless you actively fight it. You don't need to lift weights like a pro athlete. Just keeping your muscles engaged with light resistance, body weight, exercises, elastic bands, or even carrying a few shopping bags makes a huge difference. Let me share a quick story about Gilbert. At 82, he stopped exercising completely after a minor fall. He was afraid of getting hurt again, but what he didn't realize was that his inactivity was making him weaker every day. Then he visited a physical therapist who changed everything. With just 5 minutes a day of chair stands, balance practice, and soup can curls. Yes, soup cans. Gilbert started gaining strength. Not just in his legs, but in his confidence. Because strength isn't just about lifting things. It's about knowing you can stand up without holding the armrest. That you can walk through a store without needing a cart. That you can play with your grandkids on the floor and get back up again. The key? Consistency. Even small movements add up when you do them regularly and with intention. So ask yourself today, are you doing enough to keep your muscles working for you, not against you? 2. Eating like you did in your 40s. Another trap many people fall into? Thinking their body still runs the same engine it did 30 years ago. Same meals, same portions, same comfort foods. It feels familiar, comfortable, safe. But your metabolism has slowed. Your digestion isn't as fast, and your nutritional needs have changed. If you eat out of habit instead of hunger, it can lead to weight gain, low energy, and blood sugar issues, without you even noticing until it's too late. At 75, Scarlett had always eaten 3 hearty meals a day, but lately, she felt bloated after dinner. Her energy dipped mid-afternoon. Her clothes were tighter. Her doctor didn't lecture her. He simply suggested, eat smaller, eat smarter. She cut portion sizes slightly, added more vegetables, listened to her body's signals of fullness. Within weeks, she felt lighter, more alert. Her sleep improved, and she felt emotionally steadier than she had in years. It's not about dieting. It's about evolving. Your body has changed, and so should the way you fuel it. You don't need to give up the joy of food. You just need to learn what truly nourishes you now, not what used to. Withdrawing from social connection. Now, let's talk about something most people don't want to admit. Isolation. It creeps in slowly. You start canceling plans more, going out less, telling yourself staying home is easier, better. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes emotional. Maybe after a loss, You feel like you have nothing to offer anymore. Or maybe people don't check in like they used to. But the quiet that follows, it's dangerous. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It affects your brain, your heart, and your overall well-being. Regular social interaction keeps your mind sharp, your mood balanced, and your sense of purpose strong. Meet Sylvia. At 80, she withdrew from friends and family after losing her husband. She thought she needed space. What she didn't realize was that loneliness was dulling her mind and draining her energy. When her daughter encouraged her to try a weekly senior yoga class, she resisted at first. But what surprised her wasn't the exercise. It was the laughter, the conversation, the connection. Suddenly, her days had color again. You don't need to join every group in town. Just find one meaningful connection, a phone call with a friend, a walk with a neighbor, joining a book club online. These moments are like mental vitamins. They remind your brain it's still part of something bigger. You still matter, and others are richer for having you in their lives, even if you don't always see it. Ignoring minor health issues. Here's another big one. Brushing off small symptoms. A little dizziness. Mild chest pressure. Feeling tired in the afternoon. You might chalk it up to age. No need to bother anyone. Doctors are stressful anyway. But here's the thing. As we get older, our bodies become more fragile, but also more communicative. Those minor signs, they're messages, warnings, opportunities. Take Walter, for example. He'd always been tough, never wanted to go to the doctor unless something really hurt. When he noticed some vision changes and tingling in his feet, he ignored it. By the time he got checked, he was diagnosed with early-stage diabetes. The good news? Because it was caught early, he managed it with diet and lifestyle changes. His doctor emphasized one thing. Early action isn't paranoia. It's power. You know your body better than anyone. If something feels off, don't stay silent. Ask questions. Get a second opinion if needed. Advocate for yourself. Because when it comes to your health, silence can be the loudest mistake. Relying too much on memory. This one hits a lot of us, especially those who've lived decades without needing reminders. Birthdays, appointments, medications. You handled it all in your head. It worked. So why change now? But here's the reality. Short-term memory naturally slows down as we age. And when you rely solely on it, you open the door to mistakes, like missing a dose, doubling up on meds, or forgetting an important call. Let me introduce Bill. At 73, he took pride in his sharp memory. But after forgetting a specialist appointment and skipping his morning meds twice in 1 week, he knew something had shifted. He felt ashamed at first, like he was admitting defeat. Then he started using a notebook and setting phone alarms. And guess what? He felt lighter, less anxious, more confident. Using tools isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. Whether it's a calendar on the fridge, a pill organizer, or a few digital reminders, these aren't crutches, they're safeguards. They free up mental space so you can focus on what matters, not what you might forget. Avoiding technology entirely. Last but definitely not least, turning away from technology. Maybe it feels too complicated. Maybe past attempts left you frustrated. Maybe you say, I've gotten along fine without it. And while that may be true, avoiding tech entirely can isolate you from tools that could simplify your life, not complicate it. Technology doesn't mean diving into TikTok trends or buying every gadget under the sun. It can be as simple as learning to send a text, use voice reminders, or access medical records online. Louise, 79, used to call her daughter every time she needed to check in, appointment or refill a medication. She loved the support, but hated the dependency. One day, her grandson showed her how to use calendar apps and set reminders on her phone. It wasn't easy at first, There were frustrations, moments of doubt, but within weeks, she was managing things on her own and feeling something she hadn't in years. Capable. Technology isn't the enemy of aging. It's a powerful partner, one that can help you stay connected, safe, and independent in ways you might not expect. So let go of any embarrassment. Everyone starts somewhere. Give yourself the chance to learn. Find someone patient. Take one small step. Even mastering just one function can make a world of difference. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect. Which of these habits did you recognize in yourself? Which one surprised you? After 70, the rules of health and happiness shift. But nobody hands you a new playbook, so we stick to what feels familiar, even if it no longer serves us. The good news? It's never too late to course correct. You don't need to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Just pick one thing. Make a small change. Start with 5 minutes of movement. Adjust one meal. Call a friend. Set your first reminder. Ask for help with a device. Each step you take is a reminder that you still matter, that your time still counts, that your best days are still ahead. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below and let me know which habit hit home and what change you're planning to make. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might benefit from a gentle nudge toward a healthier, more empowered life. Until next time. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep writing your story. See you soon.